let's look at probability. So here we have A, B, and C are 3 events. Okay. So here we have information, probability of event A, probability of event B, and then we have that the common part between A and B is 0.05. Now, one thing that is telling us that those events that A and B are not mutually exclusive events. Because when events, how do we recognize if event is mutually exclusive or not? When that common part, if that common part between 2 events is 0, they are mutually exclusive. But if it is not 0, like in this case, therefore they are not mutually exclusive. So what do we need to do in the first part? So we need to find the value of A minus B. That is the probability that A happens, but B does not happen. So if we are thinking about graphs, so A happened, but what didn't happen? The B part, isn't it? So that means from the whole probability of A, if we take the common part between A and B, therefore we are left with A less B. So in this case, probability of A is 0.3 minus the common part 0.05. And when we put that in the calculator, we get that 0.25. Now, next part is saying find the value of what? Of those 2 added together. So when it comes to not mutually exclusive, right? Meaning that they have the common part. So what I'm looking for all of that. So that means that will be probability. That will be probability of one event plus probability of the other event, but we have to take away that common part, otherwise it will be twice there, isn't it? Because I took all of that. If you mark that with pen, so if that's green, green, and then let's say blue, do you see that green already is counted in green? And then if I mark that blue, then it's twice counted. That's the reason why we take away that. So if I was to write a formula for that, so when I'm looking for 2 events together probability, in this case, you add probability of one plus the probability of the other one, but that should be written minus, but minus that common part between them. So in our case, probability of A is 0.3 plus probability of B 0.15 minus that common part 0.05. And when we put that in the calculator, we get 0.4. So that's what I'm saying. That's how we know, how do we recognize if the events are mutually exclusive or not, because that common part, if it was 0, then they are mutually exclusive, meaning they do not touch, they don't have a common part.